Okay. 12.
So let's see. Out of 70 people, we have 14. Come on.
Okay.
Out of 82.
Out of 82. I guess soon we'll have more trainers than participants.
But we will see. Today, I think we have how many registered? 80, 81?
82 registered. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm home at last.
And by the way, I see that you, Koля, weird national shirt, t-shirt. Yes.
Yes. National T-shirt. Actually, in Ukraine, I don't think there were T-shirts.
No, it maybe it has another name. Yeah.
It's just a modern piece of art.
One piece of art. Yeah. Folk style. Yeah. Oh no, not folk. Like folklore. Yeah.
Something, yeah, like that.
Okay. And by the way, are you allowing to join artificial intelligence to our call today?
Let them join. Usually I don't allow, but today let them
We
be.
can do an exception. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in good mood today, so
Mm-hmm. Good. Great. And by the way, how was your week?
as I said, I have a quarter reviewing, quarter finishing week, not week, month. I had to deliver 25 OKRs, and I have problems with 20% of them.
I think you will do this.
I appreciate your trust in my ability.
There is no chance not to do it, I think.
We have a specific workflow, a lot of dependencies on other departments, so it's not only up to me.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you're a manager. Not everything depends on you, but you're responsible for everything.
Yeah, that's the point.
Mhm.
I guess we can start. So we have 27 people, including ourselves. And
Actually, it's
minutes.
30%. Let's start.
Mhm.
Okay.
Started.
Okay, so let me traditionally introduce ourselves. Here are our star speakers, Sergey Paznakos.
Whoa. Okay.
Person with
And I'm sharing my YouTube channel.
yeah. Join his YouTube channel, his Instagram channel, his LinkedIn channel, Team Challenge Slack channel, any channel you can find.
A lot of
and
channels,
you can
yeah.
join. Yeah, a lot of channels of communication. Maybe sometime he will create his own Telegram channel,
I have already, by the way.
TV channel, radio channel, streaming online channel. Okay, so Daria, Daria.
Daria.
I'm still not confident in pronouncing her surname, so she's our speaker, and she has a lot of experience in ERPs and enterprise big companies. She's knowing how to speak to anyone in the world. So almost anyone. She didn't speak to everybody yet, but I hope soon she will achieve that goal.
And Daria shared with us before we started this stream that she has American certification related to health, and mentoring regarding the health and so on. So
yeah, well, of course, I have PM certifications as well, right? I have 5 project management certifications and a lot of cloud certifications. But aside from my professional life, one of my biggest hobbies is fitness. And yes, I was the first or one of the first people from Ukraine who got American licenses, real licenses, not a course, not an online course, but a real full license. As a fitness trainer, as a health coach, as a nutrition specialist, I can work in any gym in US, and even I can buy a US insurance as a trainer. So you know that it's quite complicated. And yes, so that will be topic for the next one.
great.
As far as she is a specialist in fitting, she fits perfectly to our meetings, to our topics, and we appreciate a lot her presence and her input. Katya is our bomba pushka raketa.
Yes.
She knows everything about the products, about solving problems, conflicts, and finding the best ways to deliver everything in the best manner. Okay, and as for me, Mykola Kalakutsky,
VIP premium luxury.
Premium luxury delivery manager, influencer on LinkedIn. That
Telegram channel.
I stopped posting a month ago, and I hope I'll turn back eventually.
Of course, we are working hard, so
Yeah. Okay, so today's topic is interview questions, and we will review this topic through the point of how to build the answers. We will pay a lot of attention not to what to answer, but how to answer. And I think it will be better if Daria presents us the STAR technique. Let's start from that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll keep the theory short so that we can practice. So guys, look, typically you have 2 types of interviews, right? You have the technical interview where your main competencies are checked. This is not for today. And then you have the behavioral interview where your decision-making is verified, the way you would tackle challenges, the way you would fit into team. So it's more about your personality, the way you would handle different situations, the way you would work in an international environment. So for the STAR technique, I would tell you how I did it, right? There are 2 parts. Number 1, you can practice the questions and you can think of the project examples which you will be explaining. And number 2, you can think of the structure of your answers. So for the number 1, what questions, you can download, for example, from here. So it's quite a good guide. Of course, I cannot give you the real questions, right? But this guide is very close to reality, pretty close. It's kind of a PDF book with 100 behavioral questions. It's just for you to understand how behavioral questions are structured. All of them begin with the part, tell me about a time when, or tell me about a situation when. And after when, there will be the question, what exactly they're asking, right? And then this part, what exactly they're asking, it refers to a specific topic. For example, if we're checking how well the person handles conflict, you can guess the question. Tell me about a time when you had a major conflict in your project. How did you resolve it? Or if we're checking how active is the person, right? Do they have this strive, for action, for delivering results? You can tell me the question. Tell me about a situation when you had to deliver results, or you were managing a large project and your results were quite high, quite ambitious, and so on and so on. So you can see in this PDF book that the topics are completely different, from quality of projects to team management to handling with financial affairs like frugality, so spending less, achieving more, KPIs, time management, negotiating with super senior stakeholders, changing the project on your go, and you can suggest a variety of topics. Now, the biggest thing is how you can prepare for the interviews, because obviously, if the question is asking, tell me about a time, you need to have those examples in your head, right? Because if you start inventing things on the go, it might be quite dangerous, unless you are super professional, extremely handle, any kind of public speaking, and you are well prepared, and you can do bridging, and you can start with one topic and lead to the next one. In this case, yes, but still it's better to prepare. Why I'm saying this? Because I've seen many cases when people start answering the question and then they realize that either the example is not passing or it's a dangerous example. It's a dangerous example which doesn't show you from a good side. For example, tell me about a time when you had a big problem in your project, or tell me about a time when your project failed. You need to think well in advance, right? How you're telling your story. Because for sure, we have projects everyone has, right? Super successful and not so much. But the question is, you need to tell about the failure, but more importantly, you need to tell how you handled it and how you minimized the impact, how you handled the risks, and most importantly, how you fixed it, and what you learned, and how you will avoid this mistake going forward. So to answer all of this, I recommend that you really start, preparing. So if you are expecting a job interview at any time, right, in the nearest future, start a document, start a piece of paper, start somewhere where you can write your project examples. That this project I will use for my examples about the teamwork. And this project will be my failure. And this project will be my super success story, how I tackled the biggest project in my life and how we succeeded, right? Because you cannot use the same example for multiple questions. You can repeat it, but the interviewers are taking notes, right? And it's not right when everyone is writing about the same thing. So that's about the questions. And now about your answers. So of course you have those examples of projects, but now the next part is how you tell it, right? You follow the STAR technique. STAR is an abbreviation. I will share the screen. I guess I can share. So, even if I cannot share, no problem. You can always find, there is a very good article.
Oh, yeah, maybe you can handle it. To share slides, yeah.
Yeah, so anyhow, you guys, you can open this link, right? And you can see it's Indeed website, so the career portal. And you can see there is long description, but then there is a picture. What is the STAR interview method? And you can see that this is situation, task, action, and result. Why situation is important? Because the interviewer needs to understand what are you talking about, right? So you would say that I was managing a project for a large IT company in Ukraine. Our customer was a bank. Okay. Or I was working as a freelancer and my project was about this and that. Sharing once more. Thank you. Let me see. Yep, I think, yes, you can see it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you have 4 elements, right? You have the situation, task, action, and result. Your situation is the shortest. It's only for the interviewer to understand which project you'll be talking about. And for them, it's important to understand where was this? So in which part of the world you were managing? What was it? You were working for a product company, or you were a freelancer, or you worked as a project manager somewhere in healthcare, in banking, somewhere. And this is the shortest part. You just need to give.
How big was your team and how many teams other teams were involved, for example, also might be important.
Exactly. Yeah. And thank you. Very good point. How big was your team? And also, if you can tell how big was the project, was it, I don't know, $100? I'm joking now, but you understand, right? Or was it $1 million? Or, you know, how long was it? Are you talking about something which was a 2-year project or a 2-month project? So give the interviewer the understanding of size. Obviously, the bigger was the project, the better, and see which metrics you can use. Because sometimes the team is the best indicator that the project was large. Sometimes, you know, it could have been a small team, but huge volume of the project, right? Huge revenue. So think which metric is the best example. Then the task. The task is about you, not about the company, not about the team, but exactly about you. So what was your task? And obviously the task should refer to the question. So if the question is asking, tell me about a time when you had to manage a conflict, the task should be somehow related to this conflict, right? For example, you were managing a project, you were running out of resources, and you went to your stakeholders. You had to negotiate something, and they didn't support, and then something else happened. So you need to explain what was it, right? Without going into too much details which are not relevant. And then the most important are the action and the result. In the action, you explain how you handled the situation. So the interviewer knows that situation. You were working as a project manager in a large IT company in Ukraine, and so on and so on. Your task was that as part of that project, you were managing this and something happened, and there was a risk, or you had to solve a problem. The action is what exactly you did. You, not the team, not someone else, what you did, and you should give a background, like why you did it, right? Because they're not checking your history. They're not verifying that, oh yes, indeed, 2 years ago you were working somewhere. They're checking your decision-making, your competences as a project manager. So if you're saying that you had a conflict, here you say how you resolved it and why you decided to resolve it this way, or at least to take this and this action. And you finish with the result, with the R, result, right? What you achieved in the process. Now, interviewers are taking notes, right? So the better you explain, the more structured your response is, the better for you. The more points you will get, the better will be the notes from the interview. This is general. It's not about one company. It's generally in the market, right? So my advice would be, when you're answering the question, follow the structure, say the keywords. The situation was this and this and this. My task was this and this and this. My actions were 1, 2, 3, 5. The result of this whole situation was that I've achieved this and this. So the more you give them the keywords and the clearer is the structure, the better for you. Now, I'll stop sharing. Tell me, please, if you have any questions on that part.
I have something to add.
Of course.
You talked about the structure, and I want to add about the timing. Timing is also important. If your story takes 10 to 15 minutes, you failed. Try to fit in 2, maximum 3 minutes. It's the best time for answer.
Exactly. And I can tell you that in most companies, interviewers have guides with the STAR questions, right? And the guide has the question and then follow-up questions. And the follow-up questions, if the interviewer wants and has time and needs this information, they will ask you. Believe me, they will, for sure, they will ask, why have you chosen this example? Why do you think that this example really illustrates the question we're asking? So typically they have the follow-up questions. Let them speak, right? Don't take 15 minutes of your interview time and then, lose the chance to get more questions. It's like a race. The more questions you get, the better. So don't take all of your interview time being stuck on the first question. Yeah. Anything to add? Because we can be talking about STAR till morning, right? We wanted to open the floor and to give you a chance to ask us. What do you think?
I can share an example from my recent experience. I conducted technical interviews with candidates on project management positions in our company, and I have about 1 to 3 technical interviews per day, but usually one, but sometimes more. And I noticed that when the candidate is able to provide answers in STAR technique, it is so much easier to understand his experience, his knowledge, his skills, because you're not distracted to the extra details. You're not trying to keep mind about many things. You just follow up the structure, and you can ask something if you need, but usually you don't need anything if the answer is clear. I think we can. Oh yeah, Sergey, please.
Yeah, go ahead. I will then.
I just thought that it would be better if we provide a few examples. Are you ready to be an interviewer or a candidate?
Yeah, I can.
Daria, let's take the question.
Yeah. So, for example, this one, and thank you, Julia, for the question. What are your weaknesses? It's a good question. However, it's not really a behavioral question, right? Then I would have said, please tell me about the time when your weaknesses came on the surface, when you were managing a project and your weaknesses came through. But basically, the question which I chose is very close. We are thinking alike. So please describe a time when a plan you developed did not play out as expected.
Sergey, are you ready to answer?
Describe a time when a plan you developed did not play out as expected. And I need to answer in this technique. One moment.
Yeah, in the meantime, I can tell everyone, be smart with the answers. Because look, think what they are asking, right? Sergey, it's not for you. You're a professional. I'm telling to the broad audience. They're not asking the specific details of the project. So, for example, I wouldn't be telling that I was managing a project for a customer X. The project value was this. We were developing software or something. And they are checking our qualities as project manager. So we would briefly say, for example, I can try, right? I would say that there was a time when I was working for a company in Kiev, and the company was this size, and the project was this size, and I was managing a team of X people. In that situation, I had to develop a project plan using the information which I had at that time. Typically, I'm very result-oriented and I strive for action. So I took as much detail as I could into my plan. However, I decided to move forward, even though I didn't have all of the information. So we were moving forward, we were implementing the project. However, suddenly a new project element appeared, or the market situation changed, or something. And I would explain it that I could not have envisaged it because I had to move forward with the project. And at that time, this element was not known. However, the moment I realized that we have a new factor, a new risk, you can think what this can be, right? Immediately, I took it into account. I conducted impact assessment. I understood what would be the impact of that situation on the KPIs, on the financial results, on the team performance, and so on and so on. And immediately I replanned the project and I made sure that all stakeholders are comfortable, blah, 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 blah. The project achieved good result. And I've learned that unexpected situations happen, and it's, we should always be alert. And I learned from it. And when I'm managing new projects, I'm always, watching out for any kind of risk.
Daria, you are hired.
Thank you.
And by the way, I noticed that actually we used the same structure for our investor last year when we provided some presentation, like what we had the situation, what task were done, and which results we had, and so on. So it can be used not only for answering or preparing the questions. And to be like in this game with interviewer, but in some pitch decks and so on.
Exactly. I mean, this structure, it's not new. Look, we know that nothing is new in US, right? It's just they keep reinventing and recycling methodologies, which is quite understandable. It's the same structure. Even Mykola and I discussed that when you are coming to a leader, to a boss, to brief him or her about a problem, you say the same thing, right? That the situation is this and this. We need to do this. I suggest the actions will be this and this. The result will be this. What do you think, right? It's the same structure.
Yeah, by the way, I want to try to answer the question, what are your weaknesses in STAR technique?
Okay.
So I think that if I got this question, I would answer like, this answer is open, this question is open. I would like to provide you an example of the situation so that you can understand it better. In my previous company, I worked with a great team. We have several ongoing projects, about $5 million of common budget, and the team was very experienced. They worked for the company more than 8 years each. I joined this company to manage these projects, and my task was to justify and align processes to increase the performance. And there was a situation when the thing is, one of my weaknesses is I hardly say no to my stakeholders. If they ask for something, I would better find a way how to realize it than say, no, it's not possible. And that's why I struggled a lot in the beginning, because on one hand, I had to improve the performance. On the other hand, I had a lot of requests that needed to be done by our team. These things were controversial and couldn't be delivered in one time. Actually, I did a research about the results, about the previous results and the current situation, and I found out that saying no is sometimes helps the situation. Saying no saves the team from being distracted, from being disordered. So I created a gradation of requests regarding their importance, their urgency, their value. And for the first half, I still answered, yes, we will do it. And for the rest, I answered, no, it's not possible. Please make your request in some another way. As a result, I got a lot of respect from stakeholders. They understood that I'm a clever person, that I'm experienced, and that I know which things are important, which things are required by business, by team, by company. And sometimes they didn't requested something, but asked me, how do you think, Mykola? Is this request would align our company's needs? And I become a popular person among the stakeholders as a result. So yeah, I had the weaknesses, but I turned it into my pros, into my advantage.
And Koля, I would say that it took more than 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
Maybe
no,
3.5.
it was your first time, but okay. I'm sitting with the
Okay.
timer here.
How much did it take?
Around 4 minutes.
Yeah.
4. Okay.
Double. You've achieved double result instead of 2 minutes 4.
It's because I were improvising. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, the best timing is 2 or 3 minutes. Try to fit in this timing.
I see Kate. Right.
Katya, please.
Yeah, come on. Hi, guys. I want to add, as for me, I'm a hiring manager, and it's really crucial thing, your intonation and how you're speaking. Because come on, if we speak a lot on the one topic, it could bring in my team a meeting not for 15 minutes but for 1 hour, and come on, no, it isn't the best way. And also, it's really like inside from my vacation, I had a conversation with not like many, but some people. They are founders or CTOs or something like that, and they said one thing. And like right now, when I hired, I think that's the main point. In the interview, there are 2 or 3 questions, like the main questions ever. Another questions like water. But if you don't pass these 3 or 2, you don't get the job. And also, it's really great idea to put some numbers, some into your answers, and like, come on, I increase, I don't know, amount per 10%. Okay, how you did it? And then this story, like you know, like clickbait, and it could give into your answer some aliving. I don't know how I'd say in more formal way.
Yeah,
More
I've
essential.
discovered a killer feature. Nobody else could ever do it before me. And some, clickbait and numbers. Yeah, great. But if you are not prepared, you will get lost. You couldn't answer the question and provide answers and keep your mimics and follow the star technique.
Yeah, and actually, when I was participating in interviews, like the person who interviewing, not interviewer, like interviewer person, yeah. When I was seeking for the job, and I just had a mind map with my skills, my certificates, my domain areas where I have experience, and so on. So I have a big screen, yeah, and all the time I had this mind map. It's very useful. So I recommend to everyone to use such tips. Yeah, it will make your life easier, and you don't need to remind something or something like this to spend on this time. You just can take a look at this and just come up with some ideas how you can proceed further.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Yeah, Vyacheslav, you have a question?
Yeah, hello, guys. Glad to see you all. Can I ask a question? It's not about interview question, but it's about management in general. I have concrete situation. and concretical problem, and I hope do it in 2 minutes. Okay. So thank
Okay,
you.
go on.
Now I'm working in a project management in project. It's non-commercial project, non-commercial. I created a team for 10 people. 10 people. We are developing a website where you can order and create an event. It's like a Concert UA and Contermarca. It's our concurrent. And the situation we have had a zero sprint where we will where we had a lot of planning, and now our sprint one almost over, and I need to prepare my first demo to mentor Sergey. Actually, he's our mentor. Yeah, I need to prepare my first demo and show our results, our team. And my question is, what I need to prepare before the demo, like a project manager for my team and for me, because maybe great presentation or some things, maybe some crucial thing, what I need to do to demonstrate it will successful, I don't know, because in present I know what to do: introduce my team, show our results, to get feedback from Sergey, but I don't know what to do, prepare before. Please give me your some simple advice with it. And
Please, Mr. Mentor Sergey Pozdnikov.
Yeah, I
please
will use the
question.
here. Actually, current my position and current my job, we have a demo preparation meeting where we are, if it's needed, we are gathering with the whole team, and we are thinking, okay, what is ready on the backend side, on the front end side, and so on, or it's in overall which product PBIs is ready. And you can just analyze it during this demo preparation meeting, and think about which features you'd like to show to your stakeholders, and then include them into your agenda. And you can, during this demo preparation meeting, to practice how you will be presenting this. So you can think about the order, who will be presenters, and so on. So you can present it by yourself, but if you are a project manager, I would suggest not to do this, and just to empower somebody from your team members to do this. Because
So
this is a moment of success, and you need to work on this like a leader,
Okay, and should I need to create a presentation, or I only need to share my screen and show all feature, all I don't know what?
Yeah, I would do this in the simplest way, because you have the first ever demo, so that you just need to show your workable functionality. So you just need to show how it works and so on, and receive feedback from your stakeholders.
And last question: is it okay that me show all results, or it's better than every person, for example, backend show backend results, front end show and asking about?
Usually, it's focused on the user experience. It's usually related to how user can use your application. So we are not showing some specific things like backend and so on in separate way. But if you are working on some technical solutions, and you just need to show how it works from backend side, for instance, to send some requests and show which response you are getting and so on. So but I would recommend to show the completed user stories, because from the beginning you need to get used to such presentations, not to show to your clients and other stakeholders not completed features.
Thank you. I will prepare better, Sergey. After 1 week.
I will have a time tomorrow, so you can just show me what you have right now.
Sergey, I like your mentee. He gets an opportunity to solve his problem
I
using yourself.
actually, he is getting me in offline. Yeah, he come to my home and ask all questions that he wanted. So this is a really good example when the person would like to grow and would like to be a leader and so on. So I think Slava has a great potential.
Thanks. It's my destiny. Thank you very much.
Would you hire him, Sergey?
You're welcome.
Would you hire him?
I would really, yeah, because hard
Yeah.
skills, it's such things that you can gain, but the soft skills and your mentality and your personal characteristics, it's a really rarible thing.
Yeah. So I see the question from Yulia Savina. How you will work with toxic but very important person in project? How you handling communication with him? Actually, I usually ask this question to my candidates during the technical interview because it's a basic scene of for understanding the problem solving skills, and communication with toxic people is pretty often event in our project management life. So I would say that I would separate this stakeholder from my team as much as possible. I would, if it's mandatory for him to participate in our meeting, I would left only a few main person on these meetings, and I would regularly change their appearance so that they're not affected too much by this person. But in the best case, I would totally remove this person from the online meetings. I will make all our communication written in text messages, in emails, in Slack channel, in texts, in some, I don't know, Telegram, because it's pretty hard and difficult to stay toxic while texting. It's almost impossible to stay toxic texting. It's my own experience. So if you want to reduce the involvement of the toxic person, please do anything to separate it from your team and to put your communication into text. Yeah, Katya, please.
I have like absolutely different example when a
As
person,
usual. Great.
when person really a huge impact on the project, and he is writing a lot. Like during all day, he can put a lot of tasks, and each and for example, I have one task and I'm doing it, and he's writing. How are you right now in the 15 sec? How enter now and so on. And also it's quite difficult to like to get the emotion from the written text, and you know, when you don't put any smiles, any like and put dots, it seems really weird. And in this way, I would recommend to organize meeting and describe and try to understand what's going on. Come on, dots in messages. Even you know, I have a team member. He always puts dot, and it was like no dot, and oh, what's going wrong? And then we decided to, like, we had a one-to-one meeting, and I say, come on, it isn't okay for me and for team as well, because they thought that something going wrong. And also toxic people, you can try to find out what the difficulties, why they're so toxic, maybe. And it is the simplest way, they don't understand what is going, like, and they want in that way to find out the problem, I don't know, the project, how to solve, how to get more money and so on, and try to keep in touch with them and try to find some I don't know how to say,
Connection.
yeah, connection. Great.
And I would like to add here to Kate's response that such book, maybe Simple Leadership. Yeah, and there is some steps how to identify actually what to do with the person. If this person toxic, for instance, yeah, but maybe it's not a toxic person, and as Kate said, that maybe a person don't understand, and so on. And there is several steps. The first step it's to define what to do, then to share with the person why it should be done. Then you need to check if the person has everything to do this, all resources, and correct me. There should be the fourth step, as far as I remember. If somebody remember,
Stay in touch and make sure that that they understand and
yeah.
questions.
And another one, it's attitude of the person to the work. And if person understand what to do, why, and this person has everything to do this, but this person still don't doing this, you need to think and you need to do the hard decisions. Yeah.
And I fully agree. I would only add that if this is the general project management question, of course, but if this is your interview question about difficult people, really be careful with the answers, right? Especially if this is a multinational company where, you have to be super diplomatic and so on and so on. So I would suggest that you spin it that everyone has unique needs and unique expectations, and everyone has the right to understand things differently and to have different opinions. I'm a manager, I'm always making every effort to make sure that the team members feel comfortable, that they understand the task, that they have all the resources in place, and. Like, don't dwell, don't pause on this negativity, right? And don't repeat the words like problem or difficult. Maximum you can say challenge or challenging. That's maximum, and save the word for the most difficult situation. So a complete failure, say it was a challenge. A person, like we're talking now, say that it was somebody with a different opinion, it was somebody who had a different views, and say that he or she or they had all the right to think differently, and I appreciate it and I respect that. So my role was to explain to them why we're thinking this way and why we want to do this, and you understand, right? So if you get this one on the interview, really be careful, right, about what you are saying. And because you will get, many people get in their memories to that project, to that person, and it can get emotional. No, it's about your qualities to mitigate, to understand, to work in a multicultural environment, to work with different people with different opinions. Yeah, so keep it neutral.
Yeah, thanks for advice. It's really important. But it mostly work in enterprise, in big multinational enterprise companies, because if you're going through interview to the local Ukrainian company, they wouldn't understand you. They would think you are a strange person with the right to think differently, but not in this company. Yeah.
Absolutely. That all is about context. And before going into interview, of course, you should know which company you are going for, right? What is their size and culture and everything. Yeah.
I have
Yes, Sergey.
a challenging question to you guys, and maybe somebody can answer. Are you ready?
Go on.
Okay.
Yay.
So, what would you do if you are a project manager and your employee and you are a reporting manager for this employee come to your manager actually and just to give a bad feedback about you? What actions?
Actually, I didn't understand the question. The
Uh,
person
you have
who
you have an employee who somehow collected some negative thoughts about you and didn't express them to you, and he or she just went to your manager.
I couldn't imagine such situation. My employee talked to my manager to share some bad information about some negative
Mhm.
information about me. Behind
Behind your back, yeah. And then your manager come to you, for instance, and said this, shared. I see Daria raised the hand.
Yeah, Daria, maybe you have some thoughts.
Yeah, I think the best is to organize the meeting with both same time, right? So that nobody can distort information. And really, everyone repeats their views on the situation. So I can explain, it's an imaginary situation, right? So I would explain why we are doing this way and why I think this was right. This other person, if they have a different opinion, they have all the right to explain their opinion, right? But within the culture of the organization. So it's not about personalities, it's about the facts and the project, right? And then because the moment they need to explain using the facts and numbers and say why this is wrong, if their claim was false, they wouldn't be able to substantiate it. If their claim was correct, suppose it's an imaginary situation, good. So we will find a solution, right? We'll discuss it, and in the presence of that manager, we'll find a better solution, and then we'll develop a plan and we'll go implement it. I would say, in my mind, that's the best. Instead of trying to prove who said what to whom and why this is wrong, no, it should be about facts and numbers.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Would you dig into this root cause analysis? I would say why your employee came to your manager directly.
Depends on the company. Usually not. Usually not, because in large companies they can do it, right? There are multiple procedures, why and how, and I mean, they can and they cannot, right? But they can always prove the case that, yes, I thought that I need to bring it up because I thought that this is an immediate threat to the project, and they can always substantiate it. So I wouldn't go back, because the more you would try to fight back, the more emotional it will become. And I think I'm not saying you, I'm just saying generally, right, that everyone will lose their face in the situation. So better not to. Because I would say, okay, so let's look at the problem. What exactly you think is wrong? Tell me, show me the numbers or feedback, or tell me exactly what you think is wrong, and we will find a solution. And I wouldn't mention why did you do it or why you didn't tell me. It's not important. He did already, or she did already, right? Mm-hmm. So we just need to solve the problem.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got it.
Come on, bud.
Yeah, I think that after this situation, I'm sorry, Katya. I think that after this situation, I would talk to my HR manager to clarify how to avoid such situations in the future. Mm-hmm. So if it's possible, I would mitigate this risk in the future.
Manager. Actually, I had such situation in the past, and I was a manager who digged into the situation. What was the reason? And the reason was the person psychologically. I how to say? I usually an open person, and I'm asking the people to share some feedback and so on. But this person was psychologically. It's a root word weak, yeah, to confront and say to you right directly that I would have another opinion and so on. And this person had was preferred the easiest way to share it with somebody with who he doesn't have this conflict, yeah, and it was like a more soft way for this person, something like this. So that's why this was the decision, something like that. Yeah.
But I think you understand that your case is somehow unique. It's not very common in the companies.
Oh, yeah.
Usually people communicate directly.
Yeah.
Okay, regarding the interview questions, I also but by the way, we have timing. We have almost 1 hour.
You all the time interrupting Kate.
Yeah.
Kate, I'm shutting up. Please, Kate, say your word.
Yeah, I have to comment about the situation that Sergey said. I will reflect in that situation. I would reflect about this situation because maybe there are a lot of people who don't share their like opinion, their feedback, honestly feedback. Like not that we are going to say you're a great manager and so on, but maybe they have another not like rude, but even not negative, but not so good feedback, and they can't give their manager it directly. So this is the main point I want to add. And another about the question interview, it's really like one of the most important thing for me as a manager. If I hire some people, some manager, I don't know, even not manager, I want you go to my website, go through the registration and find some information about my product. I'm product like I always work in a product company, so it's really like you have to know what the company, what they are going to do, what they are doing right now, because I want to hire people who can't like open the web page and go through some easy steps. So it's really important.
Yeah, with the current situation on the market, when a recruiter asks you, what do you know about our company? And you're saying, I don't know anything. So yeah, it's really bad.
I am applying to everyone, each one. Okay, we have almost 1 hour passed, and I want to remind that we have an advertisement minute for Sergey Pozdakos. He will remind about his YouTube channel. Yeah, Katya, if you want to share your LinkedIn profile or any other link, please, you're feel free to do it. And Daria, you can also share any contacts with our visitors. Okay. I think if somebody wants to contact me, he can find me, type in Mykola Kalakutsky anywhere, and it will help to find me somewhere and somehow. Okay. Yeah, actually, I think we have some tips to share left, and I want to share my own tip that when you are on the interview, I think it's very important for you to prepare the environment. It's important for you to not be distracted accidentally, not to be disturbed by anyone. Of course, we know the situation. You can have noisy neighbors, you can have construction outside, you can have children in the next room or something like that, but be prepared as much as possible. Also, it's important to look into the camera and smile, because it helps you to build the connection with the interviewer, and in any case it will make your communication more pleasant. Even if you fail to answer, if you miss some details, but you keep positive mood, you keep your good attitude, it will help. People will tend to help you. They will tend to support you because you will be pleasant to them. Maybe Sergey or Katya wants to share other tips.
For instance, good music. I'm listening good music before some major, not only interviews, but some calls, very important calls. Yeah.
Good music. Yeah.
Oh, like in my case, not relaxing music. It's mostly some rock. Yeah, because in this case you have some good mood and so on, more energy.
Yeah, and by the way, try to drink all the water, eat all the food, all the meals before the interview. Don't eat or drink or smoke during the interview. Rephrase.
Yeah.
For me, it's okay. Like if you want to drink,
Yeah, it's okay, but it's distracting. It's okay. It's okay even if the person needs to go and open the door. It's okay. We will understand. But actually, if the person is prepared, it's better. It's better.
yeah, absolutely. But for me, red flag is some T-shirts with some weird phrases, and I have I have one interview, and guy were wo- wore T-shirt with phrase "fuck off." And
Good.
another one
Yeah.
on the same
That's okay, man.
position, a guy lies on the bed.
Maybe he missed something. He saw that he has interview for OnlyFans.
Yeah, maybe. But and one more like red flag for me, when a person leaves the interview.
Leaves?
Yeah, like we have some speaker, we spoke, and he just leaves the room and go away.
He understood everything about your company and about you and decided not to continue. What did you say him?
Nothing. Like I've just asked about some general question, and it wasn't like even the beginning of main technical interview. It was like pre-starting or something like that, and stand up and go away. So,
yeah.
and also, it's really for me important that how you reflect, how you answer, and on the interrupting as well. Right now we have example when my child trying to go to my room, and it's okay, like it's there live, and just smile and say I'm sorry, and that's all. And not overthinking, and try to be really honest with your interviewer.
Yeah. And actually, the way how you react to your child coming in is almost the same way how you will react to any other person approaching to you. Yeah, so if you can stay calm and pleasant, you will be the same, probably in the most situation. Yeah.
By the way, guys, maybe somebody from our audience has some questions. Because we are like encouraging to ask the questions, any questions.
Yeah, actually, we have finished with our main topic, and now we can discuss anything. I think if we have. I can also suggest try to um, set your camera, your microphone, and test it with anybody if you didn't do it before, because sometimes the person joins the meeting and then I can turn on my camera. I have problems with my sound. I cannot hear you, or he is muted, or he cannot unmute, or something like that. It's so terrible when the person. Okay, it might be good if you are hiring, I don't know, a cook or a waiter that has not to work with a laptop. But if you hire a manager, he should know how to use his technique, his laptop, his computer, and if he worked previously with other teams, he should have some meetings. And I can't imagine the person that how to turn on the camera, how to make it. Yeah, Sergey.
Yeah, you remind me some case. Once when I joined some project that already was on, I would say, supporting stage. Yeah, there was some developer who had a bad performance, and I asked him what he's doing, and incidentally I realized, and he just said to me that the company sent me a MacBook, but I don't know how to use this, and that's why I'm using my old Windows laptop. And it was for me very surprising fact. And I said, and you during those 2 months is not even ask anybody to share knowledge how to use MacBook? And he said, nope.
Great manager, great problem solving
Well,
skills.
it wasn't a manager, it was a developer.
Yeah. Developer, Katya, yeah.
I have one question for everybody. What's the most weird question, interview question, have you ever had?
The weirdest question. Everybody is thinking. Everybody is thinking.
I had a question actually, but it depends on the context. Once I had interview into some sex toys related project, yeah, and they said we sometimes we need to meet offline in office. Yeah, and to test our devices, yeah, something like this. And the interviewer was so sexy girl actually, and I said, I will think. Yeah, so yeah. But how to say? But she said we are not testing this with the people. Yeah, we are testing like well, I don't know. Maybe they have something artificial, but this was a strange context. Yeah, to me.
Yeah, I remember during one interview, I was asked how big must be the bribe so that I cheated on project and did something wrong to it. So they asked me what amount of money I would take to betray the company. I said that I'm not sure actually that somebody would offer me money for betraying company. I cannot imagine it. But I don't know, maybe now they asked me, is it about $1,000 or $10,000 or $100,000? I thought that no, actually, if somebody offered me $100,000, no. Anyway, it depends. I couldn't betray people I work with. I couldn't betray company. It's against my attitude, against my my own policy. Yeah. So. But $100,000 is a pretty big amount of money, actually. But nobody offered me. Nobody. Natalie, yeah.
Okay, I have a question. What do you think if you see a person nervous at the interview? Is it normal for you or not? Or it depends? Depends on what?
If the person is nervous, I try to break the ice. There are some techniques how to break the ice. I tell something from my experience, share any interesting story. I distract of thinking of hard questions or ask one or two simple questions just to add confidence to the person that, yeah, I remember some things, I know what we are talking about. And then I, of course, turn back to the questions I had.
But I disagree with your opinion, actually, Kolya, because in this case, I think this person who's nervous needs to somehow to handle her feelings, yeah, because if it's related to management position, and then find out the way how to improve the situation.
Yeah, of course. If we are talking about the manager position, of course. But if I am a manager who conduct the interview to another position, for example, I don't know, designer or developer.
Yeah. If it's
then I would help. If not, I will. By the way, I will probably even add some more stress.
Yeah.
Maybe.
More stress interview.
Stress interview, yeah. Andrei, come on.
Right. Hi, do you hear me?
Yep.
I have a question. How often interviewer could ask to send him a link on your on your launched project? For example, if you were in process of doing this project, but you haven't finished it, but you add in your CV that you launched successfully project. And actually, also have a question. What about integrations? If he wish to show me how your, for example, billing integration works or something like that, and
yeah.
it tracks during the.
Andrei, if you are a developer, you will be probably asked about your projects and the technical details. So please don't lie in your resume. Don't lie in it.
No, I'm not developer. I am project manager.
Yeah, but if you are a project manager, of course, we have launched the project with some assumptions. These assumptions are, let me show you. Here is the project, it works, yeah. Happy Path is like that. We didn't add some features because they were not required by our stakeholders. So now it works like that. And actually, regarding the integrations, I can ask the developer because I didn't deep into details. I just know that we connected such providers, some merchants, and some I don't know APIs. So you don't need to know all the technical details. You need to understand the structure, the needs, the overall information, how it works. You have to be able to show the Happy Path end-to-end tests or something like that. You have to explain the project, and then you might be asked some additional questions. What was the most difficult part? What was the most challenging period? How did you manage the start? What was your project documentation? How did you track your team work time, and so on? And you have to be ready to answer these questions, of course.
Thank you.
And I would like to add here, if interviewer directly asks you about technologies on your project, it would be really good. And if you would answer all those questions, like how you implemented CI/CD and so on, because it's really important. If a project manager doesn't know on which language or technology backend works in your project or worked, yeah, it will be really red flag.
Red flag. Yeah.
It will be red flag, yeah, because you are not involved into the context and so on. So you definitely need to understand what you are using in front end, on back end, how you are deploying your product, and so on.
At least you have to know the names and titles. For example, we used Node.js and Angular. Okay, we used MySQL database. We used AWS servers. So yeah, you maybe you don't know how it works. Maybe you don't know difference between Node.js and Vue.js, between Angular and JavaScript. But if you know that it works on these engines, okay, it's enough at this point.
Thank you.
But it definitely will be beneficial if you would complete some architectural course, yeah, just to understand the basics of architecture.
Just in case, yeah. 3-year course, please take it.
There's a lot of Udemy courses and Coursera.
And we turn back to the topic, is technical background necessary for project managers? Each technical project manager will answer, no, it's not important. I would do it without this background. But managers without this background will say, yeah, absolutely. It's necessary, it's mandatory. Yeah. Okay.
That is really mandatory. How you speak and can explain what do you want. Like if you can use some Node.js syntaxes, semantic, and so on, it's okay. If you can write down your SQL query and find everything in the database, it's also okay. But if you can say your dev come on, I need the list of the customer who bought something 3 days ago. Just help me, please. And they will do it for you. Just try to explain clearly, and also a good point to describe why do you need it.
And recently, actually, technical background is really valuable because I had a discussion with my client, and the client convinced me that some of our developer has a bad performance, and I reviewed pull requests and commits, and I dig into the code, and then analyzed it, and I did some conclusions that no, I need to go to the client and say that it's not just only to change the footer and so on. There was some rebuilding of dialog flows, and so dialog flow is another thing of dialogues, and to rebuild the footer from scratch from mobile version, from web version, and so on. So yeah, so it was like one of my arguments from the technical side to show to the client that he has misunderstanding here.
And
But
there
the
also, yeah, please.
Sorry, you can ask your team and said, okay, our client has some point of view. What can I do? How should I say? And can you describe me what are you were doing like for previous sprint? And that's all. They will tell you everything, and it's okay.
Yeah, Sergey, please share the link to the video on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
I see the request. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's our online streaming now, but later you can see from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I think that our meeting is coming to over, and I want to thank everybody for your participation, for your questions, for your comments, for your messages. We appreciate it a lot, and I want to ask you to share your feelings, to share your experience, to share your thoughts about participating in our PM coffee time, and maybe suggest your ideas, provide your feedback about us. Maybe we have something to improve or to add to our meetings. We are open to your thoughts and your suggestions.
You need more facilitation, yeah. and Andrei.
Probably I have one more question. For example, you have front-end and back-end developers, and you have passed almost half of a project, and then your front-end developer became a father, and to his parents suddenly Russian drone has attacked, and he missed like for 4 months more, and actually the main part of the work was consist with him. So I don't know how to manage this problem, because to postpone his part to another one developer, it's pretty hard, because when he code, as I understand, he do some technical depths. So it probably will be very hard to to manage it to another one developer. What could you advise in this case?
If you want to finish this project, you have to find another front-end developer and prepare him that this code is legacy and has a lot of technical depth. Be direct, be clear, and explain things as they are, without frightening, without lying, just as they are. Because you can describe the situation like a nightmare. You can describe it like a present from gods. But actually, the best way is to describe just things that he did. For example, the previous front-end developer did the 30% of the scope. He has the repository, and you will have the access to it. It has some technical depth, but we don't know what exactly is here. So it's better if you pay some time to review the code and then provide your decision if you are ready to work with this code, or will it be easier to start from scratch. And that's how you can. So some of code can be reused, some part of the code can be reused, but sometimes it's easier to start from scratch, even if you, for example, the previous front end was written on Angular and you want to switch to React or JavaScript or another front end benchmark. Okay. Everything is possible, and you are not limited. As I understood, your project is on Team Challenge, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes. So it's not a problem to find another front-end developer. There are a lot of people that are willing to join projects, but provide some details.
I see. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody. I have to leave because we have spent half an hour. And thank you very much. The next meeting will be in
Weeks?
2 weeks. Yeah, it will be 25th of September.
20.
Yeah.
Whoa.
See you then. Our next topic will be announced, I think, by the end of this week. By the way, Daria, will you be with us next meeting, or you skip it?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I mean, if you want me.
Actually, I wanted to dedicate our next meeting to the topic of wellness, health, and well-being. And it's important for project managers and teams, and how to maintain our well-being and wellness. And I want you to be the star speaker next time.
Thank you. Of course. Look, and let's do it together, because everyone has their own views and experience. So yeah, absolutely, let's do it. So in 2 weeks, 25th, and we'll talk about wellness, but everything in the context of maintaining energy for work, right? Because how to be a successful project manager and survive all the pressure and all the difficulties.
I will absolutely join this meeting. I won't skip it in any case. Great.
I would say how to remain an alive project manager.
Yeah. Psychologically and physically.
Yeah, mentally and physically. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
A great day
Thanks.
and evening.
Bye. Thanks.